Hi everyone, I wanted to share this mess that I'm making. I bought these markers. It says it's permanent marker. Apparently you're supposed to be able to press it up in order for the ink, so when the tip dries out, which it is now, you're supposed to be able to press it up and it's supposed to help ink go to the tip, right? So what happened here is it wasn't working. So I'm pressing it, press, right? And it's still not working. This one works. It's supposed to be black, but it looks blue. I have issues with that. But anyway, it says black. See? Black. Right. So this is supposed to happen. You're supposed to press the tip. And it's supposed to give some juice to the tip. Right? So it's 3 in a pack. And it's not working. So, oops. I got upset. And I decided to do some investigations. So I pulled out the tip. Right? This is what was here. I pulled it out. And I pulled out the back, which was here. And then I just cut it apart. This was inside of this. Oops. Yeah. Anyway. This was inside of this hole at the bottom here. It still has inside, but I can't get it out. And I don't want to get up to go for my nose peak nose. These pointy pliers. Right? So I cut off the bottom part, which is the part after I pulled out this. There's this. So I cut that off, and now the ink is running out. See? So I'm going to use it today before it dries up, because there is ink in it. It just clearly isn't working. So this is just to let you all know, if you have a thing that you buy and it's not working, maybe you could still find a way to use it. I mean, clearly it's going to finish a lot faster, but yeah. So here goes. Let's create something with it. This is what it's supposed to be. Long-lasting, easy to use, pump action, permanent markers. Yeah, right. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Gina once again. Thank you for listening to that interesting intro. I was just so annoyed. You know, you spend your money on stuff and then 2 out of 3 of them not working. It's not cool. Anyway, so today I'm using mixed media paper. It's from a pad called Fabriano, and it is 11 3/4 by 16.5 inches in size, and it says 250 GSM, 135 pounds, which is nice. It's nice and thick. So today I'm using black and white again. I changed my filter so that it looks more black this time. Oh, my phone and my lighting, I guess, is very interesting. Anyways, and I'm using my prints. These are some mark makings that I did previously. And honestly, today is very difficult. I really wanted to create. I just had no clue where to start. And as much as black and white is really fantastic, I don't know, today was really challenging. I felt so extremely limited, and it was hard. And I guess some days are like that, you know. Some days are really hard, and some days it just happens really quick and you surprise yourself, you know. So I'm just getting things ripped up and stuck down and trying to figure out where I want to put things, where I think things look good. Now what I realize is that my perspective when I'm creating is different from the perspective of the camera, well, the phone, because I tape from my phone, which is top down. So even though I'm sitting in front of it and it seems as if everything is right there in front of me, and you would think that that angle wouldn't make much of a difference, it actually does. Because when I stand up and I look at it from top down, it looks a little different, you know? So when I was editing this, I realized that there were some things that I actually could have left and that actually look good, that I covered up or ripped up or, you know, I interfered with. But looking at it top down from, you know, while editing, I was like, oh my gosh, that actually looked so good, but no, I'm going to interfere. Yeah, that's what happened. So here I am using the ink. I almost forgot. And then I had to move really fast with the spatula because it was drying very quickly. and it was really seeping into the paper. So I had to spread that really quick. And you see, it said it was black. You all saw with your own eyes, it said it was black, and it turned out to be blue, purpley, kind of purple, bluish purple thing. It's kind of annoying because this piece was supposed to be another black and white set, but I guess that's okay because I kind of got my blue in, bluish, purplish, but not, not what I would have planned, But according to it's Linby. I always pronounce it badly. I'm so sorry. I think the next one that I'm going to do blue and white. I think that should be. I probably would put some black in, but just saying, I'll do blue. So I'm putting in my pieces. I'm liking it. I actually forgot that I had these pieces that I did on book pages. So I was happy when I found it. I was looking through to see what other black pieces I had, and I am so happy I found them. I'm also happy that I decided to use white paper instead of just using white paint to add white to my spread. So this was cool. I actually really liked it, and I think I will do more of it. But it was nice to use the white, the plain white. I think it was really cool. I found this middle part was looking too scant, very empty from my perspective. But then when I was looking at it top down while editing, I was thinking I should have left it. It would have, I think, after I cut it, it would have created more interest if I had just left it instead of making the whole thing just busy. So, that being said, what I learned during this particular exercise was sometimes, I'm looking at it as a whole. At least that's how I try to look at it. I try not to look at it divided, even though I know I'm going to cut it. I had real issues dividing this. I tried to measure it, but I kind of tried not to at the same time, so I kind of messed it up, as you can see right here. But anyway, so I was saying, what I learned is sometimes it's really cool to just leave some empty spaces and not try to fill up all these pieces, because I'm going to cut it anyway. It's not a whole piece. So next time I'll leave it, and when I cut it, I'll see how it looks, and I could always add to it after. You know what I mean? So lesson learned, this exercise really helps me learn a lot of things, and, about different techniques that I want to try and things that I want to do again and use more often, and so on and so forth. These pieces I honestly did not like as much as I did the previous set that I did. It was just too busy. It felt really, really, really busy, and I felt really confused, and it was tough. So I pulled out this block. I think it's MDF. I can't remember where I got it. Probably found, I think it was my brother-in-law. Found it somewhere and took it, because this would have been trash. It would have gone in the trash. So I thought it would be really cool to make some nice marks. And I'm just gonna add some white squares to this. I'm gonna put that aside to dry, and then I'm going to put in another layer. So here I have another card. They're all so busy, and it just made me so confused. So I'm trying to add more white in some places, trying to make some things seem continuous, seem like if it's joined. But this one I thought I could make some of my paintbrush twisty marks things, thinking that could help unify everything, but it, don't know, it just didn't feel right. But I still kept going because, you have to follow through, right? So I said, even if it doesn't look good now, maybe if I keep doing it, it'll, kind of get there. So I realized the black part wasn't showing up on the black, so I just added some white over it. Again, I'm trying not to think too much. I'm just trying to make very quick decisions and go with it and then deal with the fallout. So for this one, I'm going to put some black squares. I really wanted to do it all in a line like I did the other card, but then I thought, now let's be a little different. So I'm going to stagger it a bit. I was going to go straight up, but then I thought it would be kind of boring. I like to be different, So I just thought I'd add those two to the top left and right. For this one, these two white rectangles kind of threw me off, and I didn't really know what to do. So rather than deal with that, I'm trying to fix a little bubble that I found by adding some glue underneath and trying to get that smoothed down. Then I found this, which I made with scotch tape, or a roll of masking tape, sorry. And I thought this pattern would look really cool. And yeah, here I am adding more busyness to my page. Because it's not busy enough. But I thought it looked good, so I'm going to add some of these to the page. I'm going to give this one a break and pull back in my white squares. They've finally dried, so I'm going to just go over them a couple times with white paint to make them stand out more so you can actually see them. Another note, the ink that I used, it said permanent. However, even though it dried, every time I went over it, it spread. I mean, not remarkably like, to make it like watercolor or runny, but it still moved. So is it really permanent? I mean, really? I am so disappointed. I was so excited. I think I'm so disappointed because I was really excited when I bought it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool... Now, I'm sure there are other markers like this where you pump it and it activates the tip, but I've never seen any. So this was my first time and I was really excited and I was like, oh my gosh, how cool. I can't wait to try it. And of course it was in a pack, so I couldn't take it out and test it. So this is what? Viz, V-V-H-I-Z. Yeah, maybe I bought a bad package, but it was terrible. It's strainer pack, and I think it's because I was really excited. Probably if I didn't expect much, I would just be like, well, what do you expect, Gina? And just be done with it. But it said permanent, so in my mind, it really shouldn't be spreading. And it kept spreading. Anytime I went over any part of any of the cards that had that blue ink, it moved. So it's not permanent. So I wish these things wouldn't lie. Anyway, so this page was way too busy, so I just went in and just attacked it with the white paint, and then I added some black in some very small places. Then I thought, let me highlight those areas by adding those curves, and I felt a little better about it, but not quite. So let me add some splatters. Yes, which always makes me feel better. Can you believe I didn't do any on the last 4 cards? Wow, I think that's a record. Right, so now I have these squares again. I'm doing this because I'm trying to decide what to do with the card, to be honest. But eventually I thought maybe I could probably do some dots, but I don't know. So I put it aside for it to dry, and I'm going back over this with some more white paint. So that's about 4 layers maybe of white that I went over just so you could see them on my card. Now I'm doing my lines again. Remember I told you the lines that I liked in the last card that I did, the last 4 cards, I did one with the lines. So I was like, yeah, let's do it again. So I did that. Didn't turn out the way that I thought it would. I didn't feel as good about it as I thought I would. So I'm still trying. And then we have some white areas with the white paper. So I thought I would come in with my black paint marker and do the black stripes. And then I had the brilliant idea to do cross hatching. So I ended up going the opposite direction, which kind of made it look weird. Yeah, this is what I did. And I was like, ew, Gina, what? No. I didn't like it at all. But I left it for a bit thinking maybe it'll grow on me. So I attacked some other areas on the page with the same lines. I just find it so cool. I think I may be adding them to more of my art now. I really like it. Have any of you ever, done something and you discovered that you really liked it and you started to add it to other pieces of art? Like, I just find it so cool. So I'm doing this one with the black because this area is a bit lighter. And I'm trying to blend in the edges because it looked really weird. I still don't like that section, so I'm trying to fix it now. And I didn't like how I was fixing it, so I used my finger to smudge the edge there. And then I was like, that looked kind of cool. So I did it on purpose on both ends. I was trying to blend the edges to get rid of that stark definition. So I found this was much better and I felt a lot better about it. Now to highlight my squares, I'm just doing a continuous line starting from the outside and going inside. Coming down to the end, I got too hurried and it didn't really look like a square. So I messed up there, but that's okay. And now I'm trying to blend these into the squares. Next card. My black squares, I was on a roll with the squares, so I thought let's continue. So I'm just blocking out a little of the area around it to help highlight those squares some more, which, yeah, you could actually see it. And I was thinking of doing the same line thing, but a little different. So while I was thinking about that, trying to decide what to do with the squares, I just went over the area a bit more because I found it was still showing up a bit too much. So I decided just to do a piece outside of the square, and then I felt it wasn't enough. So I did another messy outline, and then I am going to do dots, but I decided to try it outside of the square. And then, even though I was trying to avoid it, I still ended up going inside the square, but just partially with some white dots. Because why not? And then I did the inside inline. Anyways, yeah, I did it inside because I just felt it, it needed it. So I'm trying to decide which page needs more work on it. And I was just really confused. Didn't know what to do. So I thought maybe I could add some dark circles. So I cut this out. And then I kind of liked the negative of the cutout. So I put it down on the page and I kind of liked how it looked. And then I thought, let me put it on this side. And I liked how that looked. I found it was really cool. So looking at it after I edited, it looked really nice. And I felt like this is where I could have stopped. Where I put my glue, I stuck it down on the side, and it looked really good. I didn't need those dark circles anymore. I didn't need to do anything else. This is just my opinion, right? My personal opinion. Looking at it now, it's like, it actually looks kind of cool. It looks nice. I like it. So I got it stuck. I tried to wipe off, some of the excess glue. And then I felt that the rim was a bit thin. So I just came in with some black paint and I just made those circle, the rim, I don't know what to call it, the edge a little thicker. And I kind of liked it. I think it looks good and I could have really left it like this. But from my perspective at the time, it was still looking too busy. So I'm trying to blend in the edge there. And I'm still trying to fit the circle in because I feel like I wasted time cutting it out. I need to use it, but I really didn't. See, it doesn't feel right. And I could have left it. So I'm bringing back my other pieces, trying to decide if I need to do any more work on these. Looking at them. Should I do anything else? Do I need to do anything else? This one felt a bit busy, so I'm adding some white to just tone it down a bit. I'm using my finger because why not? And it's quick and easy and it feels nice. And then the next thing is, which direction should I hold them? I don't know. I really don't know. This is my trouble one. This is the one that gave me the most trouble. I really was going to give up. So I decided to do this. It felt really busy. It felt like too much. I didn't like it at all. At all. And this is what I did. I just blacked out everything. Literally blacked it out. And then I felt a little better. And I'm using my finger now to add some white circle shapes. Messy, incomplete, painty circles, and I felt better at this point, and this is when I decided to stop, even though I felt like I could have done more with it, but I decided to stop here. So I look forward to your comments. I would love to know which one you prefer, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. As always, thank you so much for watching, for listening, for sticking it out. And I hope these pictures are better and they're more black and white. I try to edit as much as possible so they look black and white. But yeah, thank you so much. Bye, everyone.